Hello everyone, in this video you will learn how to use Repl.it IDE and let's begin. So step one is go to Repl.it.com. You can simply go ahead and Google and come to this website. And the reason we are using it is because it's fully online. You can use it from any computer that can connect to the internet and run a web browser, including like a phone or a tablet. In addition to that, it's like going to fully manage your environment for building and running code. You won't need to think too much about like the right version of Python, and this is going to take care of that, right? And then also like in terms of collaboration and sharing your code, this is a very convenient platform, and those are some of the reasons why we are using it. Let's go ahead and start understanding how we can begin writing our code. So step one is that you have to go and create or sign up or create an account. Like you can even code without creating an account and just like hit this button, start coding, but it would be really convenient if you go and create an account so that you can save all your files, your projects, and then refer back to them. So that's why our recommendation is go ahead and sign up. So you can sign up either with your Google account, with your existing GitHub, Facebook, or with your email. All right, so I've already done that, and so that's why I'm here. You'll see a page similar to this one, and this is the home button here on the left-hand side that shows this kind of a view. And once you're there, let's start writing our very first program. As they call it on Repl.it, let's create our very first Repl.it. And the way you do that is this blue button on the left, top left, you'll see this new Repl.it plus. Just click on that. And obviously we'll be using Python, so I'm selecting Python. It will generate a default name for your file. Maybe you can say test Repl.it because we're just like testing it out, and then just like hit create. Okay, so it's creating something for us. All right, so here we are. Let's try to understand what this environment is because that's where we'll be spending most of our time. Like you see these three boxes, right, or three panes. And this leftmost pane or the leftmost box is for files and configuration. This shows all the files that you'll make up for your project. For example, right now we see one file, which is main.py. Whenever you see a .py extension, you know that it's a file, it's a Python file. In addition to that, you have like these different icons here for different options. Obviously, we'll be using some of those. We're not using all of them right away. But just to show you that this like box on the left-hand side is for files and configuration. Coming to the middle box or the middle pane, this is the code editor. Again, we will probably spend most of our time using this one because it's a text editor where you write your code and where you edit it. All right. And then on the right hand side, you see this like black box, which is more like an output sandbox. That is where you'll see your code in action. All output that your program produces will appear in this pane. And it also acts as a quick sandbox sometimes to run small pieces of code. So you can directly like write a few lines of code and run it quickly. Okay, so without waiting much, let's start writing some code here in our main.py file. Let's say I want to add two numbers, print 4 plus 5. And the way we run it is just like use this run. And you see the output here in the console. So that's what we said this does, right? Let me like write another line of code, which is print hello world, and then run this entire file again. Most likely it'll produce two lines of code, and that's what it did. All right, so this is our very first program. This is how we run it. Now I said that on the left hand side you see these different icons. Up here you see an add file and add folder. Of course, let's say in this project we want to add a file. We want to add another file, and then maybe that file includes some more code, some more script. How do we do that? Well, it's pretty simple. Just like hit add file, and let's say this file will have code for calculating the area of a circle. Okay, so I'm naming it circle.py because that's how we create Python files. And let's write some code here. So my code is, let's say there's some radius 5 circle and I want to compute the area of that. So I'll just say 3.14, that's pi times r squared. So r, and the way we write squared is this. All right, so that's it. Let's try running it. And okay, so we want to run this file, right? Okay, so yeah, so this is a good thing to like encounter. Now we want the output of this one, right? We want the output of these two, and not like the 9 and hello world that's there in main.py. So how do we do that? Well, one way out is that we go back to the main.py and just like say import circle and run this, because by default my main.py will run, right? So I'll say import circle and just run it, and I'll see the output here. Another way of like running my code directly from here is that I'll go to the shell, which lets me run my Python files directly. So all I have to do is I print this command python3 space and then just like the name of the file, which is circle.py in this case. Okay, and then I'll just like hit enter and I get the output, which is what's there in my circle .py. This is what we wanted to do, right? And so this demonstrates how we can like write code, how we can create a file, how we can directly like run our code in main.py, or if we have like more complex code and we want to have it in a file and then run it, then we can like go ahead and create a new file here, add it to our project, and then just like run it from there. You can directly go ahead and like keep adding files here. So it's like there's no restriction to how many files you can go and add, and then just like import in the main.py and then run them, or you can run them directly. So you can run this one directly just like we did from the shell, and you will also like you can run it from the main.py like we did here, right? So we get that output. All right. So this was a quick introduction to Repl.it, how to access Repl.it, how to create your account, and how to run your simple programs. See you in the next video.